Welcome to Michael Bull Fitness. In this video, I'm going to take you through the practice resistance training session so that you can learn how to use the app properly as well as crush every future session in your program. Before you do the practice session, make sure you've read the resistance training guide, which is in the guides tab down the bottom under PDFs. This resistance training guide will teach you everything that you need to know about resistance training. When you're ready, click the Programs tab down the bottom and open up the Practice Resistance Training session. Read the notes to give you a full understanding about what's in the session, and when you're ready, press Start Workout. You can view the workout in two modes, scroll down mode or swipe across mode, which you can change in the top right-hand side of the screen. You can use the stopwatch to time your workout as well as time your rest periods. Click on the little play button in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Let's begin. Section 1, warm-up, 3 exercises. Swipe across to your first warm-up exercise, which is the general warm-up. Time, 5 minutes. If you want to learn more about the general warm-up, click on the little I button in the bottom right-hand corner of the exercise, which will bring up a demonstration video as well as written instructions on what to do. You do not need to record data during the warm-up. When you finish the general warm-up, swipe across to part 2 of the warm-up, which is the dynamic range of motion warm-up. Time, 1 minute. Information button, watch the video, read the instructions. When you're finished, swipe across to part 3 of the warm-up, which is the mobility warm-up for 1 minute. Information button, watch the video, read the instructions. Once you've warmed up, we can start your workout. Superset 1, 2 exercises. You'll recall from the resistance training guide that a superset is where you perform 2 exercises together until completion rather than the standard way of doing 1 exercise until completion. I'll give you an example in this practice session. Swipe across to your first exercise. Your first exercise is a dumbbell goblet squat. You'll see in the top left-hand corner that it's set 1 of 3. Under the title Dumbbell Goblet Squat, you'll see reps 10, tempo 3011, which means you'll take 3 seconds to lower to the bottom position, no pause at the bottom, 1 second to come back up, and a 1 second pause at the top. Intensity 2 RIR, which means 2 reps in reserve, which means you'll stop 2 reps short of fatigue. Rest 1 to 2 minutes between sets. To learn the proper technique for the dumbbell goblet squat, click the little I button in the bottom right hand corner of the exercise, which will bring up the demonstration video, as well as the written technique guidelines. This will teach you the primary body parts that are trained, quads, glutes, core, the secondary body parts that are trained, hamstrings and shoulders, the intention of the exercise, aka what you should be focusing on. For example, for the goblet squat, you should have an external focus. Focus on technique and control. You should notice fatigue in your quads and glutes. Next, it will teach you the setup, which is what you do before you do the exercise. Hold the end of a dumbbell against your chest. Stand tall with your feet shoulder width apart, toes pointing forward or slightly out, and feet flat on the floor. Brace your core. Lastly, the movement itself. Initiate the squat by unlocking and sending your hips back a few centimeters first, then squat straight down as far as comfortable. If you can't squat all the way down, estimate and record your range of motion. Try not to overthink it. The movement should feel fluent and natural. Push back up to the top position by driving through your feet. Think of it like pushing the earth away. Squeeze your quads and glutes in the top position for 1 second, then repeat. After you feel confident with the technique, perform your set. Once you've performed your set, record your data. You'll see here, reps, range of motion, weight. If you click on the little pencil button on the right-hand side, you can open up the recording space. Let's say you got 10 reps. Let's say that you can't get all the way down with a dumbbell goblet squat and you can only get 75% of the way down. And let's say you lifted 5 kilos. The last section here is notes. This is where you can leave notes for yourself for next session. Let's say you want to increase the weight by 10% next session. Once you've finished recording your data, press Save Set. This will automatically swipe across to the next exercise in the superset, which is the knee push-up. Watch the technique video, read the written instructions, and when you're confident with the technique, perform your set. This will bring you back to set number 2 of the goblet squat. This is a superset in action where you'll do the goblet squat followed by the knee push-up for 3 sets. You'll still be resting 1 to 2 minutes between those exercises. Once you've finished entering your data for all of the 3 sets, it will bring you to the next superset. Superset 2, 2 exercises, and you follow the exact same process. In this next superset, you've been prescribed a dumbbell step up with dumbbell bicep curls. I won't go through that process again. When you come back and repeat a workout, you want to know what you lifted last time. To view this data, look down the bottom of the exercise box, which will say last, the date, the reps, range of motion, and weight. Using this information, you can perform the next session appropriately, for example, by increasing the weight by 10%. If you want to view a full history of your recorded data, click on the little squiggly line down the bottom of the exercise box on the left. This will bring up a full history of all your reps, range of motion, and weight over time. The last section is the cool down. Time, 1 to 5 minutes, which means that you don't need to do the whole 5 minutes if you feel that you're cooled down after, say, 1 or 2 minutes. And lastly, you've been prescribed some deep breaths, which can help with recovery. Click the information button, watch the video, read the instructions. Congratulations, you have finished your first resistance training workout. Mark your workout as complete and give yourself a high five. You are a legend. Using this exact same process, you can crush every single workout in your program. Nothing left to do but to do it. Get into it.